This week, Dave Bautista is back on our screens with Knock at the Cabin. But in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we'll all say goodbye to Drax. The MCU threequel will be the last time we see this group of Guardians.
You think you can toss me over the gate if you... Ow! What are you doing?
Tossing you over the gate.
I didn't mean right that second. I meant after I was ready.
But it hasn't yet sunk in that Bautista won't be playing Drax again. He had to start filming Knock at the Cabin right away, so he couldn't think about how the Guardians of the Galaxy movie ended. I didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to everyone. There was never really a chance to think about it and realize that it's over, Bautista told Digital Spy. It hasn't really hit me yet. I've been talking about it, but it hasn't made me feel anything. And I'll know they will when I see the movie and when I say goodbye to everyone on the press tour. If the first trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is any indication, the ending will be heartbreaking for fans. But if it makes us feel sad, it must have been hard for the actors to make. There were times when we talked about it while we were working. We made videos and took pictures. I remember shooting the last scene we were all going to shoot together, Bautista said. It wasn't the end of the world. The last day wasn't even close. But it was the last time the original Guardians of the Galaxy were all on set at the same time. And we all cried, so I'm sure there'll be more of that. He also said, "It's a bittersweet situation. I'm proud of what we did and what we left behind. I feel like we did a lot and did it well. But I'm also leaving behind people I've been traveling with for 10 years and who have become like family to me. I love them very much." While we wait to find out if the cast will work together again, Bautista thought back to how the first movie was seen as a risk for Marvel. Fans and critics both love Guardians movies. Volume 1 made $773 million worldwide, and Volume 2 made $864 million, which was more than Volume 1. But if there was any doubt about the movies anywhere else, it wasn't from the actors and actresses. When we started this journey, we weren't a big blockbuster franchise. We were strange people whom everyone kind of thought would fail. But we knew it was different. It felt unique. It was nice. Everyone was so happy with what we had done, Bautista said. He went on to say, "What we were doing was so much fun. We knew it was a good thing. Everyone else found out later, but when we first started filming together, we knew right away that it was something special. Seeing what we've done 10 years later is a very strange thing. It's very bittersweet to say goodbye. And we're getting sad."
Maybe if we gave Peter a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy.
What kind of present?
Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
What?
Over the years, Quill has talked about one person more than any other. A legendary hero who has saved countless lives. We could give him to Quill as a present.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out soon, and it could be the last one of its kind in the MCU. On May 5th, the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie will open in theaters. It's been a while coming, since Disney fired James Gunn as a director and writer in 2018. Shortly after that, he moved to the DCEU to revive the Suicide Squad and make Peacemaker. But he was brought back for the MCU movie because key cast members fought hard for him. Funny enough, DC Comics found one of their 2 new CEOs for DC Studios because of that change. Even though it'll be Gunn's last time in the MCU, there will be a lot to look forward to. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will give audiences their first look at 2 actors who have been talked about for a long time. Chukwudi Iwuji, who was in Peacemaker, plays the sadistically smart High Evolutionary, and Will Poulter, who was teased in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, finally plays Adam Warlock on the big screen. The third movie will pick up where the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special left off. It'll show how the beloved team of heroic outcasts is struggling to stay together after meeting these 2 very dangerous cosmic powerhouses. Gunn says that the Guardians story in the MCU is coming to an end, while the stories of the other major characters in the franchise will all go on in their own ways. This doesn't mean that all of them are going to die in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but some of them will. Several Guardians of the Galaxy will leave the MCU after this movie, either because they die or because their story arcs come to an end. In particular, The premise and trailer make it sound like Rocket might not make it out alive. Dave Bautista has been open about leaving, or Drax the Destroyer could also be killed off. Gunn and the rest of the cast have said that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be different from the first two movies. This is shared by fellow Phase 5 film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Both are coming to the end of trilogies that have mostly been funny, but they are doing so in very serious ways that are very compelling. It's interesting to think about how, if at all, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3's ending will move the critical multiverse story forward. Even though the team's time may be over, their legacy must live on. And when the time comes, the remaining members will definitely be in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. There is a possibility that a new Guardians of the Galaxy team will form after this one disbands. When viewed from a purely financial perspective, Marvel's decision to permanently disband the Guardians simply does not make any sense. Guardians of the Galaxy was the Marvel Cinematic Universe's, or MCU's, biggest gamble, because it was a big movie about a team that the majority of fans probably hadn't heard of before. But the film ended up being one of their biggest hits regardless. It's likely that Marvel Studios and Disney don't want one of their most successful franchises to come to an end, and that's why a new trilogy of Guardians of the Galaxy movies could help the Guardians mature and develop in the same way that Captain America has. After the conclusion of the multiverse saga in Avengers: Secret Wars, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU, may look to the cosmos or other alternate dimensions, such as the Negative Zone, for their next major foe. This could be referring to Galactus, Korvac, or Annihilus, all of whom have a long history with the Guardians in the comics. Annihilus and Galactus are especially important to the Guardians. If the Marvel Cinematic Universe did not center its attention on the Guardians in those predicaments, the stories would be less interesting. In the MCU, important characters like Phyla-Vell, Moondragon, Major Victory, and Jack Flag have yet to show up. They could be part of the next group of Guardians if any of the ones who were already there were left behind. The MCU could also follow the original comics team, which was hinted at in one of the after-credits scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They could even take their time and choose one of the more recent lineups, like the one led by Kitty Pryde of the X-Men or the one led by Nova. There are a lot of good choices though. Most importantly though, if the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 really is the end of the team, the future of the MCU would feel like it was missing something without them.